we're testing the website, not you. So you can't do anything wrong. Don't be scared you're hurting my or anybody's feelings. We want to improve the site to give the best possible site. And we want to hear your honest feedback so we can continue to improve it. And so as you're on the site, I want to ask you to think out loud as much as possible, kind of narrate what you're seeing, what you're thinking, what you're trying to do, everything like that. And if you have any questions as we go along, you can ask. Again, I may not be able to answer those questions right away since we're interested in how people do if they weren't here being guided by someone through the website. But if you still have any questions when we're done at the end, I can try to answer them then. And if you need to take a break at any point, just let me know. So with your permission, I'm going to record this just for internally. We're just going to use it so we can improve the site, and it won't be used by anyone except for me and other people who are working on this project. So can you just verbally agree to that you're aware that you're being recorded and you give us your permission?
I'm being recorded and I give you permission to use my recording.
All right, thank you. So before we look at the website, here, I'm gonna actually have you be the presenter. And so you might have to download something. It'll take like 2 seconds, but.
Hello? All right.
Is it working?
It's
Do you prefer going by Ben or Benjamin? Hello?
fine.
What?
Hello?
Sorry, you're getting cut off.
Just fine.
All right. Are you able to share your screen yet?
I can't hear you. Keep cutting out for some reason.
Yeah, you do too. Let me just make sure. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is fine. Is yours good?
Closer to the server.
Sorry, what? There we go.
I'll try moving a little closer to our router.
Yeah, I can already hear you better. Can you hear me better?
All right, good. I can.
All right, perfect. So before I send you the actual link, sorry, I couldn't hear you before. Do you like going by Ben or Benjamin better?
Ben works.
Okay. So before we go through and look at the homepage, the website, I'm going to just ask you a few basic questions. So are you a student and what level?
I'm a freshman at Iowa State.
What is your major?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah. What is your major?
Mechanical engineer.
And how many hours a week do you think you spend on the internet? Would you estimate?
Probably close to 25.
And do you have any favorite websites?
What is it up here? Well, obviously Blackboard, and I use Chegg. Um,
What about non-academic ones? You don't.
uh, um, Not really. I mean, YouTube, and then I use iCloud.
Okay. So now I'm going to send you the website. It's just a mock-up, so you're not going to be able to necessarily click on everything. Um, and I, and I don't want you to click on anything yet. I want you to kind of just look around, narrate what you're seeing, what strikes you about it, whose site do you think it is, what do you think you can do here, and just kind of, like I said, narrate. You can scroll if you want to, but don't click on anything yet. So I'm going to send you the link in the chat.
Okay.
I just sent it to you in the GoToMeeting chat, so you should be able to pull it up there.
All right. Okay.
So again, just like look
So
around,
you
talk
just
out loud, don't click on anything yet.
okay. So it looks pretty clean. It looks pretty user friendly from my point of view. It's very explanatory of like what the services have to offer. Going through all of its uh, uh, things it offers, that like the uh, things that you can do with it. And then there's obviously the courses on the bottom that you can relate with, and so you know that like this is serious. It probably will help.
So
And then I see guide up.
what?
I see that there's just a guide up here and the key features, and there's a mobile app,
Mm-hmm.
so that if I do
Cool.
get lost, I can find my way.
So what do you think this, you didn't really look in detail. I mean, feel free to, but based on what you've seen, what do you think the site's about? Can you summarize that for me?
Sorry, could you repeat that, please?
Yeah, based on everything you've seen, what do you understand what the site does, what it's about? And if you do, could you summarize that for me?
Yeah, so basically it looks as to be a kind of a conglomeration of all college things. So like if you need it's study help, tutors are available. Um, it also organizes internships and internship opportunities and jobs, and then the food and drink. So like you can uh, find restaurants if you're hungry, and then also um, your textbooks. You can trade textbooks and buy textbooks.
So what kind of feeling does this website give you? I know that's kind of a weird question, but like based on the design or based on um, the features, what kind of feeling do you get on this website?
I I get a hip feeling, kind of like it's just more modern. It looks user friendly because it's very it's not basic, but it's a basic design where I think the average person could use it.
And so
Uh,
how would you use?
like it's a very approachable atmosphere.
Okay, sorry, I you got cut off, so I didn't mean to interrupt you. How do you think you would use this?
I would use it as a, a tool for college, so like studying, preparing for tests, and then I can see like you can ask questions and get pretty quick answers. So I'd use it as a like a study guide or more for studies.
Hmm.
And then also you can use it for like a for fun things like going out to eat somewhere.
So if you're looking at this website, what do you think would be clickable? What do you think you would be able to, don't click obviously yet, but what do you think you would be able to click on? What do you think you would
Yeah.
be able to, where do you think that would lead if you did click on that?
All right. Well, I think that the Spitball Guide Key Features mobile app would probably lead you somewhere. Obviously, you type in the text box and search, it should lead you somewhere. um, the courses, the content, it says content from your favorite website. You could click on that and link you to that website, but I don't think that's necessary. Um, and then the arrows with the personal attest, or like the just quotes from students. You can click and see different quotes. And then at the very bottom, available on the App Store, you can click that and download it off the App Store, as well as all the company information and support information with uh, the social medias at the bottom.
Is there anything about this website or anything that, like any text on here that seems confusing to you? Or unclear, maybe not confusing, but unclear maybe?
Yeah. Not really. Yeah.
All right.
Nothing really seems unclear.
Okay, so like I said, not everything is clickable right now, but what is clickable is the search bar. So go ahead and click on that once and
Right.
talk out loud. Let me know what you see, what you think about it, etc.
I like the options that pop down. I think something that would be nice is just kind of like an overall. I like the things that you can ask you, but then also just like wide topics like calculus,
Mm-hmm.
Calc 1, Calc 2, all those different classes. If that dropped down, but that could be a little too long. But I think that could help narrow down your search, because I know sometimes when I'm searching for something, I don't know exactly what to search.
Mm-hmm.
So that
So if you were,
overall topic area would be kind of nice.
so if you were to search something like Calculus 1, what do you think would come up based on the fact that the website, as you said, has flashcards and tutors and jobs? What do you think would come up, and documents and all everything that we do have? What do you think would come up if you did
Yeah.
search just Calculus 1? What would you expect to come up?
So I'd expect probably uh, sample problems from like each different unit with explanations, step-by-step explanations through maybe past quizzes and tests, um, and then just like kind of a glossary of definitions. So if you're stuck on a definition, like what an integral is, if you need to look up what an integral is, you can find it that way. And then also, I read that you do tutor service, maybe a button to your tutor service
Okay.
for calculus.
Okay. Um, so now these questions are clickable. Well, one is right now only just as an example, but on the website, those questions will be clickable. So you can now click on class notes and calculus. And again, on this next screen, talk out loud. Let me know what stands out to you, if there's anything that's confusing or unclear, etc.
All right.
And don't click on anything yet.
All right. I guess that bottom, it says report states a 5 millimeter smooth. That's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what that is. Homework help and calculus from Cliff Notes. And that one makes sense. Critical points. Yeah, those are different notes. So I guess it all makes sense.
So what are
There's
you,
except for that bottom one.
what are you seeing right now? What do you think you're seeing?
So they're like different, kind of like a search engine would pop up, different websites almost, different folders of, so like the calculus Cliff Notes kind of looks like a crash course uh, calculus. The critical points looks something like a lecture notes in critical points. The tangent and normal lines again looks like crash course or lecture notes. With sweet quizzes or flashcards, it's kind of self-explanatory. It just has quizzes and flashcards. And then I don't know about that bottom one.
So don't click on anything, but what do you think up top, if you scroll up? What do you think would happen if you clicked on flashcards, that red box?
It'd probably lead me to just different flashcards, like maybe a unit circle flashcards, or just like the derivative of trigs function, the antiderivative of trig functions, and that sort of thing.
So you think it'll be flashcards related to this search that you've already done?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think would happen if you, can you kind of just explain what you're seeing on the left side of the page?
On the left side, I see, I guess that'd be the courses that I would be in. And then, so it's kind of like, well, yeah, it's a filter by. So you could click on Calc 102 and you'd only see things from Calc 102. And then if you first say didn't like a source at all, you could click on that too. That's a little confusing. It's are you clicking what you don't want to see for the source? It's probably the ones you want to see click. So it's obviously, I'd click on Calculus 102 and say I really like Study Soup, I'd click on
that. So from here, what would you do if you wanted to change your settings?
There's that the gear up in the right corner.
Is that something you noticed at first?
I didn't notice at first, but once you brought it up, I noticed it.
So what do you think would happen if you clicked into the search bar?
It'd be probably the same results as the original search bar.
So how would you go about doing a new search versus how would you go about editing a search?
I'd search maybe the unit I was on. So like if it was integrals, I'd search integrals, and then I would expect something rather similar to pop up.
But I mean, like, let's say you wanted to switch from class notes in calculus to class notes in bio. What would you do to do that?
I just search class notes in biology.
Would you do that from this page right here, from this search bar right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So now that you've seen this page, do you think you have a better or worse or similar understanding to what this website is for? And if so, could you again explain to me?
Yeah, I think I definitely get a more clear vision of what the website is, because it explains obviously what's there to offer.
And can you just give me a summary of what that is?
So there's class notes, which we searched for, but then there's also quizzes and flashcards. And then you can also choose which sources you want to choose from.
What would happen if you clicked on that blue bubble that says ask a question?
I would think that it would, there'd be like a search bar that popped up, and there'd probably be somebody on there to answer the question. So it'd kind of be like a chat room.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of, I don't know what tutors, I think kind of Chegg does that sort of thing. I don't know for sure about that.
Okay. Okay. So from here, you can filter. So you can click on Calc 102 over on the filter side.
Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah. So from here, you can, on this mock-up, you can filter. So you can click on Calc 102 right there. So you go ahead and click on it.
All right. All right.
So is this clear to you what you're seeing right now?
Yep.
And the next thing you can click on, 1 second, is the flashcards, the red flashcard button up top. Before you click on it, did you already click on it? What are you going to see? I know we already talked about this, but I just want to.
Okay, so just flashcards that are calculus based, like unit circles, derivatives of trig functions, and antiderivatives of trig functions, that sort of thing.
Okay, so go ahead and click on it.
All right.
What do you?
Okay, so I see that. I see that it pops up Quizlet, so that's right. I don't know if the picture's changed or not, but it seems to be like their flashcards to calculus. I'm not quite sure about the notes about them.
What do you mean you're not quite sure?
Like the middle one, I don't know what the solution 6 calculus is exactly. Like what?
Okay, what would you want to see there? What would you expect to be seeing?
I guess not necessarily a solution 6, but for say a title like tangent and normal lines, because that's kind of, I don't know if you're working out a certain book, I could see having like solution 6 calculus, but I don't think that would appeal to everyone.
So for
And
you,
it does, like you don't know what you're clicking on until you click it.
So for you, was it clear to you that when you clicked on that filter under your courses that it was obviously was it obvious to you that it was stuff relevant specifically to your course and not to other courses at your school?
I guess not.
Yeah, so you like it wasn't.
But I think if I went through yeah, not right off the bat, but I guess if I would have gone through and like selected all of my courses,
It would have been more clear, you think?
yeah, if I went through and like selected all my courses, then I would have known exactly what it was.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so again, now that you've kind of gone through it a bit, how does this website make you feel?
It's definitely something that looks very helpful. Which would definitely help because there's no flashy ads or anything like that. And it seems fairly easy to use.
Okay. Is this something you think you would actually use? Do you see value in this?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think with a lot of input, I think it could be very, very helpful.
Okay. And again, just want to reiterate, like, please don't be afraid to hurt my feelings. This is.
Oh yeah. No, I really do think it's something that would be really helpful.
Okay. And then So now I'm kind of done with the website. You can X out if you want, or you can just keep looking at it. But I have a few extra questions.
All right.
So you said you have subscription to Chegg, or you use Chegg a lot. Do you have? Do you pay monthly?
Yeah,
Do you have any other
I do.
ones? What do you have?
I don't have any other academic subscriptions.
So you don't have like Study Blue or
I do use Quizlet quite often.
Mhm.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much it other than Chegg or Quizlet. I mean, occasionally I have to search something online and I think I have to go off that, but that's not normal.
So if you were to click on one of these items, let's say you clicked on tangent and normal lines over here in flashcards, it would open in a new tab. So it would open to Quizlet.com because that's the source, as it says at the bottom, in a
Yeah.
new tab. What do you think about that? Is that something that would bother you? Is that something that you don't mind?
I could see it getting annoying, but I also could see it being kind of nice because, for say, if it's not the correct thing, it's easy just to X out of it. But also, it could clutter up your windows. So, like, if you're just going at it pretty hard, you could get a whole bunch of tabs. So maybe if it like, I don't know, X'd out of the tab that when you finished it and you brought up a new page, you would just stick to one tab instead of opening a new tab every time.
So if you were on this website, like obviously you can add your courses, would you want to create a profile or add your email as well, just so you kind of can easily log in? Is that something you would want to do?
Yeah, it would be convenient to access it on other devices as well.
Yeah. So would it annoy you if you weren't able to do that?
Yeah, it'd just be really inconvenient if you had to plug in on college.
Okay. And is this something you will only use on a desktop computer, or do you think you would use this on your phone as well?
Uh, I mean, it depends. I think you could do a very applicable mobile version. I think that would be probably something I would definitely use as well.
Do you, so you think you would use it? What do you think? Would you want to do it on your like phone browser, or would you want a full app?
Definitely a full.
Full app. Okay. Few more questions. So I know that you have Chegg and you've looked at other websites, I'm sure, when you've like Googled. Does it ever bother you that you like need a subscription, you need to pay for all of them? And if we could bundle those subscriptions together and like kind of make it cheaper, maybe not the $15 you pay for Chegg, but you could get Chegg and Study Blue and Course Hero for, let's say, $20 or $25. Is that something you would be interested in?
Yeah, it would be because it just opens up more avenues you can go down because I'm Tag right now and it's kind of expensive for what you get, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And so what price point would you be willing to pay for something like that?
It depends, I guess, on what services you're getting, but probably around $25 a month would probably be the maximum.
Okay. Well, I have one more question. Hold on. I want to show you my screen quickly.
All right.
Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So I know I showed you the website and it looked a little bit different in that link I sent you, but we also have two other mock-ups that we are looking at. These are just for the homepage. Do you have a preference for which color you like better in terms of this top area? So there's this blue one and then this gray one.
I like the blue, but yeah, I like the blue one better with the gray at bottom. That one.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you so much for helping me out and um, letting me ask so many questions. And if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them now.
Not right now.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stop recording now, so hold on one second.